right, we're looking at 5.3, writing linear equations in point-slope form. Now, point-slope form is different than y-intercept form because you simply have, I'm going to write this figure, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. x1 and y1 are simply a point, okay? M is still your slope. So this is great if you have a point and a slope but don't know the y-intercept, because you're done, because you just plug it into this equation. So if we are looking at example 1, we're looking at the point 4, negative 3, and has a slope of 2. So first I'm going to label all these things. I know 4 is x1, and I know negative 3 is y1, and I know the slope is m. So now I'm going to look at this equation. Well, I know I've got y1 is negative 3, so minus a negative 3. So let me do this. I'm going to show you which ones I'm plugging in with red, equals the slope times x minus 4. Do you see the red are the ones that I plugged into the equation? The rest of the equation stayed the same? Okay. So that's an equation in point-slope form. That's all you have to do. If you have the point and the slope, you can simply plug it into this equation. Okay? So I'm going to write right here on the whiteboard the things that we know. We know y equals mx plus b is slope intercept. We know m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. Okay, so that's one equation. The other equation we know is slope, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That's slope. That's m, which is slope. And now we know point slope, y minus y1 equals m parentheses x minus x1. We call that point slope, where m is the slope and y1 and x1 are the point. Okay, and I will leave those on the board for tomorrow. Okay, so now we're going to graph an equation in point-slope form. So this is interesting because when I look at a graph, I think, I could do point-slope form two ways. So I'm going to show you the two ways. Okay, so you have better graph paper on yours than I do. I'm drawing my own in. So bear with me. Yours should look much neater. So here's my y-axis. Here's my x-axis. Oops. Here's my x-axis. And here is my equation. In point-slope form, I've got y plus 2 equals 2/3 times x minus 3. Well, the first thing I think of is it's really easy to graph if we have it in slope-intercept form, right? Because we just graph our y-intercept and then use our slope. So why don't I change this to slope-intercept form? So the first thing I'm going to do is I've got to get y by itself. So what's the first thing you have to do? I'm going to distribute. So I get y plus 2 equals 2/3 x. 2 times 3 is 6, divided by 3 is 2. And then I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. So I get y equals 2/3 x minus 4. Well, now it's easy. Now I go 1, 2, 3, 4, and I've got a dot. And then I go up 1, 2 over 1, 2, 3. Up 1, 2 over 3. And then I can go up 2 more, up 1, 2 over 1, 2, 3. And I've got a nice line right here. Okay, so let me go over this again. To get point-slope form and a slope-intercept, I distribute, and then I either add or subtract to get y by itself. And then I simply graph the y-intercept and then follow the slope.
What's the next 4?
Y equals 2/3 x minus 4. Yep. Now, this way I don't really like because people mess it up. but I'm going to show you. If you are worried you're going to mess it up, don't write it down. This is just the other way. Okay, so I know that my point is the opposite of the things I'm given. I know my point is 3, -2. It's the opposite of this. Okay, so I can go 1, 2, 3, -2, and here's my dot, and then I can follow my slope. I know is up 2 over 3, up 2 over 3. So you could graph it that way as well. I don't recommend it because people forget to make these the opposite of what they are. Okay, so that's why I don't recommend it, but I want to show you both ways. Okay, we are going to go to our next lovely graph. We've got write an equation in point slope form of the line shown. So do you guys see the 2 dots on this graph? We're going to list those 2 dots. So I've got, my point is -1, 3, and the other point is 1, 1. So I want to put it in point slope form. I've got plenty of points. Do I have a slope? So I've got to find my slope. So I'm going to do my slope equation. x1, y1, x2, y2, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. This becomes positive. 1 minus 3 is -2. 1 plus 1 is 2. So this is -1. So that's my what? What did I just find? Slope. Okay, and now I want to put it in point slope form. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Do I have all those things? Do I've got x1 and y1? Do I've got the slope? Okay, so I can just plug it in. Y minus 3 equals -1 times x minus a -1. 2 negatives become a... There, it's in point slope form. How do we feel about that? Pretty good? Okay. All right, let's go to our word problem. You're designing a sticker to advertise your band. A company charges $225 for the first 1,000 stickers. Please stop talking while I'm talking. And $80 for each additional 1,000 stickers. Write an equation that gives the total cost in dollars of stickers as a function of the number of stickers. And then we're going to find the cost of 9,000 stickers. Okay, so our first point is 20 for $225 for the first 1,000 stickers. And this is the opposite of what I'm doing. X is 1,000, 225. For each additional 1,000 stickers, it's $80. So I know $80 for each additional sticker. Okay? So this right here, 80 is my slope. This is my point. So I'm going to put it in point slope form. Y minus y1 equals the slope times x, minus x1. Okay, and then I'm going to get out a calculator because I don't want to do minusing thousands in my head. And I'm going to plug in 9,000 for x. So I have y minus 225,000 equals 80 times 9,000 minus 1,000. So I can do all that. 9,000 minus 1,000 is 8,000 times 80 is 640,000. And now I have to add 225 to both sides. So y equals $640,225 to make 9,000 stickers. All right, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you're able to use these equations, slope-intercept form, slope, and point slope form, and you will do fine on the quiz tomorrow.